Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bourbon and Bullshit podcast with some good friends, great drinks, and a little bit of BS. So grab a seat, pour up something neat, and welcome to the show. All right. Welcome to the show. Like, for anyone who hasn't heard that song before, can you believe that someone told me that the original version was too long and I shortened it? And now every time I press the button, I miss the rest of that song. Every single fucking time. Well, welcome into the show. We actually today have imported some talent for our recent episode. Today's episode is Bourbon BS and the DJ formerly dressed as Prince. In the studio today, we have two really good friends. One used to be damn near next door neighbor that I didn't know until 3 years later. And the other one runs around a lot because for some reason, you're always just running from your problems. We're here with Jorge.
Jeez.
Jorge is the DJ formerly dressed as Prince. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, man. And that is such a good way to like a title. That is such a great title that I've never seen before. I'm like, God damn, that's really good.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. He's here from New York, for those who are wondering which one I imported. And from the one always running from his problems, John, how are you doing today, man? How are you doing?
I'm okay. I don't know if I like the introduction that I had, but I'll take it, I guess.
For those who don't know, John is an avid runner and now actually kind of a running influencer. So we're excited for him to get to talk about that and for eventually, hopefully, get some enough money so he can get a car so he can stop running everywhere.
I have a car.
Oh, okay.
I have a Crosstrek. It's outside.
There's a joke that's not gonna get me canceled. I'm not gonna do it.
We're not doing that.
We're not doing it.
Is that Nissan?
That's Subaru. You tell me the shirt? Like, it's just, what? That he drives a Subaru? Listen, Jorge, man, how are you?
It's a wrestling shirt.
I just want to fuck with you.
Swerve Strickland. Come on.
So, Jorge, because you were here today and because of the Prince connection, which we will get into, for those who are local to Orlando, I'm sure you remember the guy who used to be Prince on Wall Street and all these great events. And Halloween, honestly, you had some of the most epic pictures ever.
Thank you. They are some of my favorite, and I'm like to that point, I am so saddened by like the state of Orlando's downtown scene, especially like Wall Street Plaza and like what's going on there. Like I still keep my ear to the ground with like local politics and like the local scene and what's happening. And it really does break my heart to see like last time I was down in Orlando, this was maybe a year ago, a good friend of mine, Josh, who also DJs on Wall Street and a couple other places. He brought me downtown. He brought me to Wall Street on Saturday night, and there were, I shit you not, 7 people on the street. 7.
It's ever since they changed those rules about what time they have to close, that bars have to pay extra to stay open later.
Exactly. They have to pay extra. It's weird. It's almost like a weird shakedown, but like it's clear that the city of Orlando wants to push everything out of like Church Street, Wall Street, that whole area. They want to move it closer to the stadium, but they don't have a plan for it. They just we want to push it out and like put in all these absurd rules. And it's sad coming home and like seeing my former stopping grounds just like completely devoid of fun and party.
Yeah, honestly, like I know that we're getting older. We getting older. We are getting older. That's English. What I said earlier was missing some words. We are getting much older. In our age, we don't necessarily like the old stomping grounds as much. Only so many times I can go to Hooch, right?
Yeah.
Only so many times I can get apple pie moonshine shots, right?
Boy, I miss that moonshine.
Yeah, but in honor of you being here and being Prince, we did make up a cocktail for you called the Purple Rain. And
yes.
I found the fanciest coupe in my house to pour it into.
It was golden lined. I was like, you've done the research. This is fantastic.
John looked at me like, what the fuck is this?
I was looking at you more like that because you took a sip of it and then you handed it to me.
Oh, well, I needed to make sure it was good.
You sipped out of mine.
Yeah.
You could have made your own.
Okay.
No.
I did make my own. And then I gave
friends
it to
share
you.
everything.
He didn't drink yours.
Oh,
because, well, first of all, he's an honored guest.
So what am I, chopped liver?
Yes.
That's right.
No, not at all. But I did other stuff. I tried his fucking old fashioned. We split it. Like I tried his old fashioned first.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Is that why I have like this much less than you do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I needed to know that you're okay, Sweetie Pie.
Thank you.
So the Purple Rain, right? So it's 2 ounces of Empress Gin, which that purple color comes from this butterfly pea tea, whatever. It's like this weird flower that will, when you put any citrus into it, it goes from purple to pink.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So as long as you're using that like as a predecessor before you finish the cocktail, it should come up to a brighter, vibrant color.
Oh, that's cool.
So we use that and about a half an ounce of honey simple syrup, 3/4 ounce of lime juice, shake, and you put an egg white in there. So you dry shake so it gets that little nice foam at the top.
Is that what that was?
Mhm.
Boy, oh boy. Can I tell you real quick the first time I knew? So my drink order anytime I was working downtown or like any bar was always a whiskey sour because I knew that they had like sour mix and then like some garbage well whiskey that they could just like boom, boom, done. Here's your drink.
Yeah.
It was super quick and it got me in and out because they're always getting slammed with like 1,000 people downtown. And then I go to New York and they're like, hey, do you want your whiskey sour with an egg white? And I was like, hold up. What? What are you talking about? And then everybody was like, yeah, you got to do it. You got to. I was like, yeah, go for it. All right, sure. And then I get this drink with an egg white, and it is the nectar of the gods, right? A whiskey sour with egg white, like made proper, is so fucking good. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I was even asking John if you're a vegan or if he's a vegan because I have the vegan alternative.
Oh, cool.
But the one problem is that the vegan alternative is chickpea juice, which is really distinct flavor.
Yeah.
It gives the foamy head, but it's like, this doesn't taste like a whiskey sour.
Right. Well, speaking of things that don't...
Foamy head?
Oh,
God, I wish there was video rolling just to see like your eyes kind of like lock and go in lockstep. Also, your hands got way closer, like you were about to... There it is.
Hello.
Incredible. I'm fine being in this cuck chair. Oh, I'm cool with that.
That's the cuck chair. The one in the corner is the cuck chair.
That looks pretty comfy.
But yeah, so the Purple Rain felt perfect for you in the prettiest glass I could find.
It was gorgeous. Thank you.
So I'm glad you enjoyed.
I do want to tell you this.
I'm scared.
The first I want to get your guttural reaction to this. So one of the first gigs I got when I moved to New York was I was doing photos for this nightclub that opened. I don't know if I told you this.
No.
I was doing photos for this nightclub that had opened. I don't even remember how I got this job. But I ended up doing photos and I was dressed as Prince, oddly enough, because it was supposed to be sort of like, yeah, take a photo with Prince or whatever. And like, I don't know, 5 people showed up to this nightclub opening. That's what it is. Anyway, so like partway through the night, I roll up, I go up to the bar and I'm like, hey, can I just get a whiskey sour? Because again, that's my thing. And the bartender kind of looks at me and he's like, yeah, whiskey sour. Yeah, I got you. Hold on. And I should have known then that something funky was about to happen because he not only made me wait, but also had to think through the process. And so like 2-3 minutes later, he comes back and he puts a glass down and it does not look like a whiskey sour. And he's like, here you go, whiskey sour. And I take a sip and it's grapefruit juice and whiskey. And so technically correct, but so disgusting, so awful. It was the worst thing I've ever put in my mouth. And I put a good amount of things in my mouth.
There we go again.
Yeah.
Phrasing.
Yep.
We were going to get to why, how you afford rent in New York in a minute. I don't know why you jumped to that other
I didn't even know, but buddy, we're just so like you and I right here. Mental page.
See, John? See what happens when you care about your friends?
Why are you being rude?
Why are you being so mean?
I haven't seen you forever. So I like to talk to people about their origin stories and how you ended up like the path that you went through. So for those who do know you were a DJ for a very good amount of time. You even did karaoke. I think I won a trip to Vegas at one of your shows.
Oh my God, that's right.
Yeah.
Did you go?
No, I give it to John.
Did you go?
It was a whole process.
John's
I actually tried to book it, and it was a whole process of like, you got to send us checks for this.
Oh,
you got to do this.
I'm so
and
sorry.
it was so sketch.
Yeah.
I ended up just not doing it. It was way too much work. It was a quote unquote free trip.
Yeah.
That they made you like, you had to fax stuff in like the age of emails, and they had to like mail stuff. And I was like, I'm not doing any of this. So I just didn't do it.
That's insane. I wouldn't have done it either. I had no idea. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Why are you sorry? You didn't. I won. I just wanted to win.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
I do
the winning part
winning.
was cool, but the process of it, it's like, I don't know if you've ever like gone to like a restaurant, like a fast food, and they say, win a free cruise.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Have you ever won one of those cruises?
No, because I never put my information in.
So I did once.
Okay.
And it's the same concept. Like, you got to like give a lot of information.
Right.
Checks, mail it here. And I'm like, I'm not doing any of these things.
Yeah, I don't trust that. I don't trust
so
that.
yeah.
Never,
I'm so sorry. That's really shitty. We should go to Vegas.
Don't
We
worry.
totally should.
I will not pay for it, but like we should go.
Yeah.
But I
just,
won.
like, spiritually.
But
I don't think that's how that works.
You won my company.
That's right.
Here I am.
I like that.
So John and I used to hang out with UMC at these DJ events, but you were working with Corn Dog?
Yeah, so I hope like anybody listening locally in Orlando or like Central Florida knows Corn Dog's name. I hope it's a dude named Justin Cornicker, and when he was younger, everybody would like make fun of him and call him Corn Dog, and it was one of those things where like he took the power back by like calling himself Corn Dog. You know, you can't make fun of me if I'm calling myself that thing, and he like really. He turned it into a business, and like it's so incredibly successful. And
I've heard of people doing that with other words, but I don't want to get into that.
What other words?
Don't worry about it.
What are some of the other words? No, I like words.
I love words.
Mm-hmm. What are some of those words?
Corn Dog. Right? So where did you meet Corn Dog?
Where did I meet
Are you for real?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, where did you meet him? I really want to know. I want to know with you.
Okay, so
answer the question.
it's insane that you met me where I was in life, because I was 1,000% sort of like the nerdy kind of like, the way I like to put it is, if given the chance and the opportunity, I 1,000% would have been an incel, like bar none.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I know what I'm saying. I absolutely was.
That was not on my 2025.
It was. I was just so introverted, and just like I didn't go out. I didn't go to like parties and stuff. I was like, quote unquote super nerdy, and was like would rather be home, like either playing games or like coding or something like that. Very not like outgoing at all. But it turns out one of my interests that I was really good at was rock band, and this was. My bad. This was right in the time when so Corn Dog was doing this thing where he pivoted from just doing karaoke, but he was also doing karaoke like downtown and other venues and stuff. It was karaoke and rock band. So like you could go out and you could sign up for either or, and he brought like his own PlayStation, and he brought the controllers and like drum kit and all that stuff, and you could pick or choose. And it turns out he put out I want to say he put out a Facebook advertisement, or no, it was back in the day when you could message anybody on Facebook based on interest. And he messaged 1,000 people or whatever based on like the rock band interest in Central Florida. And it was like, hey, I'm looking for a host. Like, this is the thing. Come out and audition, this night at Wall Street Cantina, which RIP doesn't exist anymore. It's where Sideshow is now. Yeah. So Wall Street Cantina. And so I was like, okay, sure. And on a fucking whim, I went and tried it out and got the job. And then I was that was my thing, is I would host karaoke and rock band at like these different places, and I would just like play rock band and get paid for it.
Where the fuck did you meet John from? John, where did you guys meet?
Where did we meet?
You went to Boone?
I did go to Boone, but like we were not in the same circles, because you were like 2 years older than me, right? I graduated 06.
He's still 2 years older than you.
Yeah.
That's a great question. I don't even know.
Do you really not know?
I don't.
You got sent these questions in advance.
Like how we met?
Yes.
That wasn't on here.
Yeah, origin stories.
Origin stories about like individuals.
Yeah, not us. We was it Tilted Kilt? You would come in with
holy shit
with Drew and stuff, right? That whole circle.
Yeah, but I knew you before that. Like we went because of.
Are we just friends now? Are you a stranger that we just?
No,
He just brought me in.
I thought we knew him. Do we not know him?
Who is this guy?
John, do you not know?
Who is this person?
Sorry.
Actually, I remember us going to Tilted Kilt a lot because you were there.
But why?
I mean, it was. I worked ladies' night. I worked Dirty Bingo.
I remember Dirty Bingo.
Yeah, it was Dirty Bingo, and then another night I would do rock band and karaoke.
But why were we there?
I don't know.
We were there because of him.
I know, but why were we there if you don't know him?
I don't know.
I love that this happened.
What?
I don't know.
Did I just break your head? Break your brain?
I usually like remember how I meet everybody.
You have no idea how we ended up hanging out with him.
I have no idea.
It has to be from that same circle, because I know
I went with him in a Kia Soul one day to get Halo or a video game or something we did.
That's right.
Yeah.
You came with me in my car to pick up an Xbox 360.
Yeah,
you were my muscle because it was on Craigslist.
Yeah. Yes. And we did one at fucking the Florida Mall or whatever it was. It was the Florida Mall.
We did. That was I think that was different. That was at the Microsoft store.
That was the second one where we did like if you use Bing, you can get the $50 gift card in front of them.
Yes. Yeah. They were take the Bing challenge or whatever.
Yeah,
God, we are aging ourselves.
It was the dumbest fucking shit.
There's going to be like 21-year-olds who listen to the podcast.
No one who's
and
21
go like,
listening to my podcast.
They're going to be like, skibbity toilet bop. What the fuck are they talking about?
You heard, I think I had a stroke. All right. This terrible podcast. I have no idea where you guys met.
No
But
idea.
I do
Holy
know
shit.
that we would go to your dirty bingo nights, the things that are
Yeah.
no longer PC, but I
No.
don't think people could do those kind of things.
No, I have a job now where it's very, very similar.
Really?
It's still PC because everybody who walks into like that space is kind of like
Oh, that space.
they
But
know
you can't
what they're.
like go to Tilted Kilt, which is a family-friendly
Well,
restaurant.
Tilted Kilt closed down, which
I'm laughing at how many times I would be in Tilted Kilt, and why are there children here?
yes, there were multiple times where I did Dirty Bingo, which again, for anybody who doesn't know, Dirty Bingo is this like again concept with like Corn Dog and like Corn Dog Entertainment Group. That it's bingo, but your prizes are all sex toys. They're all like 21 and up. It's like I'm giving away big floppy dongs and like vibrators and stuff. Very, very, very sexual of a show. And this was always on, I think it was like Thursday night, ladies' night at Tilted Kilt. I don't think it was 21 and up or 18 and up, but it was very coded that way. And everybody should know that. And then towards the end, I remember this like family came in, they had kids, and it was like 11 p.m. or some shit like that. And like they were giving management a bunch of gruff. And then I said, I don't remember what I said. It may have been like blue waffle or something like that on the microphone. Like B15, B as in blue waffle. And then like some guy came up and he's like, hey, my kid wants to know what a blue waffle is. And like he had the kid with him, and it was very like he's like a 6-year-old, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, what are you trying to prove right now? And then I want to say like a week or two later they had canceled the show.
God damn!
We've been Facebook friends since 2010.
Did you go and research that?
Yes,
Was it
January 2010. We've been Facebook friends.
So from karaoke and Dirty Bingo
Mm-hmm.
to doing stand-up comedy and doing comedy shows and doing all this at Upright Citizen Brigade, and in between there DJing online. Tell us about all that. Like between when your origin, like you went from almost an incel
yeah
to being good enough at Rock Band to make a career out of it, to ending up in New York. Oh, don't look at me like that. You said it.
I mean, when it's said back to me, and I'm like, yeah, that's true. It's a whole other thing.
Hashtag almost an insult. Someone get a copyright.
no,
Someone get the
please.
website.
Jeez, dear God, please no.
I mean, you could have a shirt.
Get a domain name.
Just make a shirt.
I will.
I was almost
A
an
weekly
incel, and
shirt.
all I got was this T-shirt.
Mm-hmm. I was almost an insult, and I just ended up with this T-shirt. Yeah, but I was
all I
friends
got
with her.
All I got was this T-shirt, and not the girl of my dreams.
Wow.
It's a pillow shaped in it. Listen, okay, tell us.
Wait, what was the question?
Huh?
How
How did you go from almost an incel to doing stand-up comedy in New York for Upright Citizen Brigade, and now doing a comedy show, I guess, with your roommate, Hey Roomie?
Yeah, so
Tell us about that path
okay.
and how many drugs you did along the way.
I've done 0 drugs, but that's so funny because one of my good friends that I met in New York, Kurt Cruz, who's one of the best technical directors and also now works at Second City as their technical director. He's an incredible guy. But we worked together at this theater space called Caveat, and he was the technical director there. And I think I had mentioned that I was like a DJ as well, or that I can DJ, something like that. And we got on the subject of like drugs and like cocaine and stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, LOL. Like I know I'm a DJ, but I've never done cocaine, never want to. And he was like, that's weird. And I was like, hold up, what? Why is that weird? And he's like, well, you just have like, you've got the personality of somebody who does cocaine.
Cocaine energy.
And
Damn.
I always took that as like a compliment. I was like, thanks, bud.
Oh.
But anyway, to your
So
no,
what-
go ahead.
so
You
what-
have
I
questions.
was like, what drug energy does John give? Testosterone.
We're not talking about.
Just
Angry.
pure
Pure
testosterone.
rage. Just angry.
Let's keep talking about your origin stories and
So,
this caveat place and
so okay, so on Wall Street every year for the Halloween block party, RIP, I miss it so much. I would co-host with Corndog the costume contest, and Wall Street would give us sort of this like blank check to do whatever, be whatever, almost say whatever on stage on a microphone in front of like however many people can fit on Wall Street. And I want to say that's like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Who the fuck knows? What are numbers?
That's a lot of numbers.
It's so many numbers. But honestly, what is time? What are numbers?
Time is a construct.
It's honestly. So I would be I know the look. My birthday is on Inauguration Day, and it sucks. but that's another thing we can get into later.
Yeah.
So I'm like on stage in front of so many people, and it was sort of like this thing of like, okay, whenever you are watching like a Netflix special of a comedian, they're at their best. They've practiced so much. They have all these jokes for like lickety split, so good. And in my head, I'm thinking of like John Mulaney. So like everybody who's there knows John Mulaney. They want to see John Mulaney, and it's like a very warm crowd because they want to eat up everything he's giving. So he could make a mistake or say a joke that's not really that funny, but people are going to laugh anyway. And that's almost exactly what I had on Wall Street, where not necessarily being funny, but just like having the space to be stupid,
to be charismatic.
Exactly.
Just put on a show and put it in character.
Right, exactly. And it was always received well, and we could do whatever. But I also took it seriously. I always really wanted to have a really great costume. I know I get I'm kind of known for doing a lot of Prince stuff, but one of my favorite costumes that I've ever done was the Sergio Sanchez, the Sexy Sax Man. And I put in so much effort to that I learned how to play Careless Whisper on the saxophone, on a real saxophone. I rented a saxophone for 3 months before Halloween to just learn Careless Whisper so that I could do it right. And
commitment,
dude, I love doing that. Like cosplayers know this kind of commitment level. Mm-hmm. This is the kind of stuff I loved doing. But anyway, every year I looked forward to it. I called it like my Super Bowl. Yeah, that's him. Yeah, with so I have my hair how it is now, and I went to my hairstylist and I was like, "Hey, here's what I need to look like. Here are the extensions I bought off of Amazon. Can you straighten my hair, push it back, and then add these extensions?"
It was beautiful. I remember it. It was beautiful.
I love all of this.
It was so much fun. But yeah, so I remember thinking like this moment, doing these nights is exactly like, this is the feeling I want to chase. This is exactly what I want. And a couple other things in my life kind of like lined up to like not hold me to Orlando anymore. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to shoot my shot and move to New York, kind of like pack it all up and see what happens. And yeah, I went to New York and 2019, February of 2019, kind of got to experience the old New York City. And then March of 2020 happened. And so I got to go through all of that along with everybody. And I personally think that I'm kind of like a honorary like New York citizen now. You know, a lot of people will be like, oh, you have to be like there 10 years before you're really considered like a New Yorker. Or you may never be considered a New Yorker because you're never from there. But like I went through one of the worst moments in modern human history in New York City, and like I got to see some shit and kind of live through it. So I feel like I'm given a pass. You know, I haven't like ran that through anybody, but I feel like I get a pass. So I was interning at UCB, and then COVID happened.
What's UCB for those who don't know?
The Upright Citizens Brigade, not the University of California at Berkeley, which some agents think is what it means.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Yeah, that's what I was making sure. I was like, acronyms suck.
Yeah. So UCB is the whole thing of like a couple of years ago, especially. I don't remember which SNL cast member had mentioned it. But they were like, oh, if you want to get on SNL, the pathway is like you move to New York, you go to UCB, you work hard, you get on SNL or something adjacent. And that's what a lot of people would do. That's what a ton of people did. They would go to UCB, and it's kind of like the college experience for just like getting to know people and getting in that sphere of influence and like knowing writers and knowing comedians and like, yeah, I'll be on that show, or yeah, let's do this show together. And you know, kind of everybody kind of,
it's like a networking, almost like a coming of,
exactly,
like paying your dues.
Yeah, exactly. And so to pay my dues, I was taking classes there for sure. And that's where I met, I took a sketch class, Sketch 101. And that's where I met Peter, my writing partner. And now we're Hey Roommate Comedy. We put out stuff all the time on Instagram at Hey Roommate Comedy. Tiny little plug, but we do.
You got to plug a lot.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Pause.
We
before John said it.
Just minding my business.
I like how you got in there. There's so much. There's like what 6 years. It's like 6 years of history now. So I'm really trying to condense it all. I don't want to talk everybody off. I'm so sorry.
Well, hey, that's why you're here. We'll go back to it.
Thank you.
I'm still trying to figure out where the fuck John met you from,
bro. Me too. It's in the back of my head. I'm trying to like add. I've got like 40% of brain power trying to figure out where we met.
40%. Jesus.
Yeah, I know. And like the rest of the 60% is trying not to slur after drinking all this delicious bourbon that you poured me.
Welcome. John and I used to visit you all the fucking time. We're going to take a quick break because I need to refill my glass because John's stressing me out. And when we get back, we'll continue to learn a little bit more about that nightlife stuff and get John, and I guess we're going to share our favorite and least favorite songs from karaoke and from downtown as a DJ.
I've got stuff to tell you.
Be right back, guys. Hey guys, while you're listening to the show, we know that you might want to partake in some drinks with us and enjoy in the libations. Here at Bourbon and Bullshit, we ask that you drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. Avoid Amazon one-click buy. And for the love of God, do not text your ex. You do not need that kind of closure. They've moved on. So should you, Joseph. You should stop Facebook stalking. She knows. She knows. Now, all jokes aside, don't do anything dumb. Take care of yourselves and be safe. Thanks, guys. Now back to the show. All right, we are back. I always love the reaction of when people haven't listened to the show and then they see, don't text your ex. Avoid Amazon one-click buy. You texted me?
No, I texted Drew, and I said, did I meet Jorge through you? And he goes, I think so, because he started hosting karaoke.
There we go. We found out that origin story of this friendship.
Seems like you're right, but I swear.
He's not a stranger in my house.
I do remember. So I remember at Tilted Kill, you were going through it, and you would sing Mr. Brightside.
Yep, and then Usher, you got it.
Yes, with your entire heart and soul.
Oh my God, John! Are we going to talk about 2009, John?
No,
the most frustrating John I've ever met.
It was you and Norby going through some shit.
They were both.
Yeah,
it was about a year apart. And you know who was getting broke trying to have their friends have fun? Me. We spent a lot of time drinking with them and taking bullets.
Who asked you?
You literally asked me.
But who asked you to talk about that?
He did.
He didn't ask you.
He said,
he just started to talk about it.
I mentioned it.
He mentioned
it. I mentioned it. It's fair.
I mean, hey, we met some cool people through that time.
That's true.
One's right here.
Apparently Jorge, because I didn't know that.
I don't know.
I didn't know that. I thought you guys knew each other for much longer.
That's so good. No.
It's almost hilarious that at some way he just showed up and everyone thought someone else knew him and he never went away.
It's weird because like we can't remember where we exactly met, but like our friendship is genuinely so strong and we have been there for, I want to say you've been there for me more than I've been there for you, and I'm sorry for that disparity, but like you have been there for me in some of my lowest fucking times. You too.
It's not like a give and take thing sometimes, you know.
I mean, that's fair.
There for seasons and there for
this
things.
isn't like relationships, friendships aren't about like what I can give
you owe me some time. No, that's not how that works.
Fuck, that's not.
I mean, true. Thank you, but like in my soul, I'm like I would lay down, whatever. If either of you were like, I need you, come down to Florida for whatever reason, like bet, done, got it. When's the next flight?
Yeah, we appreciate that. And that's why we don't care that you would do that because we're friends.
Good, because your boy is hurting for cash.
Listen. Oh shit, I forgot to tell you that all these drinks have been charged to your account.
Are they putting up on my tab? Great, cool. No, good.
How do you think I fund this show, motherfucker?
Jorge has left.
Jorge has left. Guys,
the tab is still open. I'm not paying.
He knocked stuff over on his way up. Oh,
he really did leave. So what are we going to talk about now?
So music.
No, wait, I love music.
Oh, he's back.
He's back.
He came back.
All right, John, I know that we just talked, well, now it was a perfect segue, so I apologize. We talked about how when you were going through it, you sang a couple of interesting songs. What were your go-to songs in karaoke and what weren't they? Like, were you like...
And I will fact check this in real time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so obviously, any Killer song.
Mr. Brightside.
Anything off, Hot Fuzz, and anything off Sam's Town, their first two albums.
Okay.
So obviously, Mr. Brightside was the main one that everybody knows. And then obviously Usher, You Got It Bad, because I was like really going through it. And then we did Backstreet Boys a few times. I'm not singing. I'm not doing it. Right. So Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, boy band songs. A lot of Eminem, like a lot now. But when Jorge was hosting the karaoke, it was mainly The Killers or Usher, and boy bands. Those were the main things. And then stuff I won't sing.
Or stuff that you hated hearing when you were out downtown. You're like, this fucking song again.
anything that when somebody actually couldn't sing and they thought they could sing, it's okay if you can't sing. That's okay, right? But when they thought they could sing, I'm not saying that I'm a great singer, but when somebody like they think they're the best, they walk up there and like, I'm gonna kill this song, and they go all the time and do it, and it's horrible. It doesn't matter what it is, what genre, and then it's like, this is really bad. I don't want to hear this. Doesn't matter what it is, what genre. It's just I hate it. Or when somebody does a rap song,
there we go.
They are,
shouldn't be saying the N-word.
They should not be saying the racial slurs that are being said in the song.
Put a pin in that. I have a story.
And they say it very proudly.
And they say it very proudly. And very comfortably. And it's very uncomfortable because it's fine that you like that song, but like you should not be saying that. And they do it all the time, and nobody says anything.
Oh no, I was there one time at Tilted Kilt when someone was gonna do something about it, and I was like, "My man, we can't be out of pocket." And he's like, "What?" I'm like, "You and I are way too dark to be out of pocket right now. We need to sit down." And he's like, "You right?"
When was this?
Yeah,
I don't remember this.
It was someone was doing an Eminem song, and not Eminem song. He was doing, I think it was N-words in Paris or some song.
Right.
And he said the word, just said it really like comfortably. And And it was a dude who looked like he was from Bithlo. And I was like, there's no confusion that you're not like Logic, where there could be a little bit in there.
Right.
No.
There's no...
You don't carry a picture of your dad and say, look, I can say it. No, that's not the situation. All right, Patrick Mahomes, relax. No, this guy did not look like that. So a dude got up and started walking towards the front. I was like, listen, we aren't going to win in this situation.
Thank you for that, because I was more than likely wearing like a hot pink V-neck shirt, and like nobody would take me seriously in any regard. No. So trying to stop a fight would not happen.
I stopped it more for like the culture.
Sure,
listen,
yeah.
At the end of the day, we're going to get arrested.
You have the corrective behavior. And then another person that I would do a lot of karaoke with, besides you, Oral used to have.
Yes.
At the former Gig Easy, right?
I love Oral.
So
love Oral.
we would do.
That is a person's name.
That is, yeah.
Is a person's name,
not just an act.
I'll say both.
I'm on a boat.
Yes.
And then Bonfire by Childish Gambino, and Superman by Eminem. And then, as you get older...
Every song?
Basically every song. But like when I did Superman by Eminem as I got older, I realized like these lyrics are very problematic. And there's a video somewhere of me in the middle of the song
realizing
like that aha moment, going, oh wow, this is really bad. This is about domestic violence, like towards women.
Are you serious? That's when it hit you?
Like that I cared.
Oh,
right. More than like I wasn't. It was a song, so you're just like whatever. And the song, like I do know one thing though. Bitches they come they go, Saturday through Sunday, Monday through Sunday, yo. And then like there's a part he's like slip anthrax on her Tampax and slap it so she can't stand. And I was like, I stopped, and I was like, damn. Like Eminem's a great lyricist, but Jesus, like I'm sorry that I'm doing this song. Like I literally like apologized, and then I finished the song, and then I never did it ever again.
Bro, there were so many songs,
respect,
especially when you're a kid, that you just sing along to. Like I have no business singing along to Peaches and Cream.
Yeah,
I was 12. Like why am I singing? Or how many like reggae songs that were
Girl,
straight
I need
up?
it because you know that I'm a fiend.
Yeah,
you're saying as you're 13 years old.
Yeah, and parents don't know what the fuck, especially because we're Hispanic. So like my mom doesn't know. I guess no video go look. So she's not really paying attention to the lyrics. As we got older, my mom's like understanding a lot, and she's like, I understand what Cardi B says, and I don't like it.
Mira, Juap.
Mira,
¿qué? ¿Qué pasó?
¿Pero qué? Ay, mijo, Cardi B.
Juap. All right, as the
no.
Juap.
What?
Juap.
Juap is why you're here today, Arturo.
Oh no!
That's why you're here.
Guys, we're gonna take a quick commercial. We're not doing that. We're not talking about any. Never again.
Hey, mira, we're going to take a quick commercial break.
I don't even know if I have that sound. All right. Well, I have my regular sound bites, but I'm trying to look at one where it's like, wah, 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 wah. Like, all right, I got it.
Wepa. Not the wepa.
All right. This is getting off the rails, but I have to do it. Hey. That's about John. Listen,
I'm upset that it's not about me, honestly.
So before we go on a quick break, give me your favorite song when people requested it, or your least favorite song when people requested it.
My favorite song would be anyone that they give with like conviction. So my favorite song would be anyone where they were like, I'm really nervous. Like, I don't want to do this because I shit you not, 100% of the time, 10 out of 10, they would go up there and they would fucking knock it out of the park. They're like a born singer and they just crush it. Any song where they're like kind of timid about doing, 1,000% every time. They do it great. And I don't care. Like, I want you to have fun. And if having fun means you're absolutely destroying this song in the worst way possible, fine, whatever. I'm not that guy. That said, my least favorite is Don't Stop Believin' by Journey. And it's only because everybody would sing that and they're hammered and they would try to have a group together and they're so off key or they're so off like timing or whatever. And again, it's fine. You're just there to have fun. But I saw Journey live one year and they sang Don't Stop Believin' and I fucking hated it. And that's when I knew that like this song is forever ruined in my body and soul.
That's so fair.
Yeah.
That's so fair because I don't think
Damn.
I don't have that. Obviously, I've never been a DJ,
Mhm.
not with my current name and profile because I had to move a lot. I'm Dominican. We do odd jobs.
What?
Don't worry about
What
it.
the fuck?
Like witness protection program?
No, I'm just saying, like, you know,
Are
it's
you
a song.
French?
Who
It's a-
hurt you?
I'm being Dominican. You're just like, "Mira, suavemente," and you just press a fucking CD
man.
player.
Wouldn't it be like Don Omar?
No, they don't have to know what race I am. They just love the shit.
about family?
Family. Familia.
Listen, but when working at retail, when you know, like you have music playing over and over,
Mhm.
there became some songs that I even subconsciously would
Yes.
skip on the radio.
Yep.
I wouldn't even notice I did it. I would just switch it, and like my fiance was like, I like that song. I was like, oh, I didn't even notice I did that.
Wow, fiance? Flex?
Ha! He's engaged too.
Wow, flex?
Yeah. Why do you say it like that? Like she's not. You better be like, yeah, goddamn right, I'm flexing. No, we're not doing that. All right, we're not doing that.
Mm-mm.
Listen, all right, we're not doing that.
Keeping it 100.
So the music I would hear, like sometimes you would hear Imagine Dragons, Radioactive.
Oh my God, yes.
I would play over and over to the point that I no longer noticed it.
Imagine dragging these nuts.
God damn it, Jorge.
I don't have my glasses on. I cannot read that, I think. Hold on. Give me that.
Oh, great for podcasts. Guys, we're going to take that quick commercial break. And when we get back, hopefully they're paying attention to whatever the fuck we're doing. Be right back, guys.
Sponsor of Bourbon and Bullshit, Big Bang Boom Collective is Orlando's burlesque and cabaret entertainment group, comprised of Midnight Fables Cabaret, Big Bang Boom Cabaret, and Foxy's Den. Follow us on Instagram at Big Bang Boom Collective, or join our VIP email list for info on upcoming shows by visiting www.bigbangboomcollective.com.
Hi, guys, and we are back. These two mischiefs. I've been nothing. Is it mischiefs? Can you wait, John? All right, these two motherfuckers.
I don't know if I like you.
What about now, John? What about
See,
now?
now I can hear you.
All right, cool. These two motherfuckers.
I was trying to cue you without telling you.
Yeah, that's fine. I've been drinking.
What?
So we have been
drinking
and catching back up. So there's a lot of stories. So we did confirm that John and Jorge know each other from Drew, who is historically our most problematic drinking friend. That is not an opinion. That is a statement of fact.
I think he's gotten better in age,
No,
as we all have.
historically.
Yeah.
Not right now, but
That's
in
fair.
the past.
In the past.
Who would you be the most concerned with if we were all drinking that night? You could say it. My fiance knows the past.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I plead fifth. For so many amendments.
Yeah, I'm a true homie. I'm not going to put my homies on blast like
Shit. So we ended up doing another drink of the day with a concoction that I made at home is just a coffee old fashioned. But my twist on it was that I took Angel's Envy Triple Oak and soaked coffee beans in it for a week. I used espresso beans from Café Bustelo.
Oh, Café Bustelo.
So it'd be nice and strong, and just black walnuts bitters, chocolate bitters, a little bit of simple syrup, but it's a brown sugar simple syrup to give you a little bit extra rich oomph.
It is so good.
And it's supposed to taste like a cold brew on fucking all the way up.
On roids. Yeah, no, it is so good.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
And I'm curious, do you know if the caffeine will transfer through?
I have no fucking clue. I have no clue, but I'm hoping so.
I'm hoping so too.
And John, we gave him one of my favorite drinks because I wanted to share it with him because he does mean a lot to me, whether I ever tell him out loud or not.
Oh my God.
I want him to have the final award, which we've gone over before. It's a drink with green chartreuse, rye whiskey.
It's all right.
It's all right.
It's all right.
He stole mine. I made it for me. Said, hey, try this. And he's
To be
like,
fair,
oh.
you said if you like it, I'm going to make this for myself. If you like it, you can have it.
It sounds like something out of Destiny.
So yours is nicer looking. Mine
Yeah.
doesn't even have the ice in it.
Or the fruits.
Because you
the
took
fruit.
it.
You don't got no fruits.
You could have at least said, hey, can I get it back and make it nicer?
Bitch, if you come at me one more
Yo, you don't got to call me names.
I
Like,
know.
I didn't even talk about your forehead. I just said,
You
hey,
don't
man,
have to. It talks for itself at this point.
you started it. I've been very polite.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm a guest in your house.
It's a stranger.
Not that I haven't,
in
like-
my house.
Jesus. I think I'm going to go. I don't care about the next segment. I'm going to leave.
All right, so we're gonna get to the next segment as part of again with the door slam. Everyone's leaving. So current projects. I want to talk to John about last time we had him in here. It was during the Bah Humbug episode because fuck Christmas.
Yeah, that's fair.
Since then, this young man has accomplished a lot. By young, I say it loosely. He's just younger than me.
A lot of people are younger than you because you're old.
Damn.
father time type of shit.
Mhm.
But you have had some cool stuff going on. Share that with us, man. What have you had going?
Yeah, so a few things. Like in my professional life, I left a job that I've been working at for 21 years, which is crazy to me. I started that job when I was 18. I worked retail pharmacy for 21 years, just like Arthur, worked there for a long time. And after 13 months of looking for a new job, I took a different role at a different company, non-retail, non-healthcare, which is great. I'm in my first week of that job, and it's still crazy to me to think that I worked at a place for 21 years. It was my longest relationship that I've ever had, and I thought she would change.
She turned out abusive.
And she was very abusive, and sometimes it was good, and sometimes it was bad. And I'm not making a domestic violence joke. I want to make that very clear, right? Because it's not funny.
I was about to say that's twice in 1 hour.
However,
First an
right,
Eminem
like,
song.
I thought that the relationship would be better, and it was not better.
That's
Right,
right.
better. So yeah, I've always wanted to be a run coach. Right, I'm very passionate. Like, I love motivating people and getting to know people and wanting to help them achieve their goals. Right.
Yeah.
So I've been running my whole life, and I'm part of this.
Running from what?
From everything. Right, like society, school to prison pipeline, bunch of different problems. Right. Anyway, so I've been running my whole that look right. So I've been running my whole life. I've always wanted to be a run coach. It just never worked out for me. Like, I even had coaching as my minor at UCF and dropped it so I could graduate. And then I tore my ACL like about 6 or 7 years ago. And then I wanted to get back into running after that. And then I found this awesome run group called Run BMT. It stands for Black Matter Training. Coach Seth and Coach Jermaine are the main coaches. I am now the third coach in that program. Coach Jon. Jon, no H, because if you have an H in Jon, unless Arthur really likes you, I don't mess with you, right? And I'm being very specific, right? But usually,
He was on our show last week.
yeah. And that was a really good episode, like really eye-opening episode. Shout out. I've never met Jon, but shout out to Jon. Probably the only Jon with an H that I will talk to, only because Arthur says that he's cool. So yeah, I am now also a run coach. And Run BMT does these things called training blocks where we'll run anywhere between 6 to 12 weeks, and it usually will end in a race. So we run 2 days a week, Thursdays and Sundays. Thursdays will be like a speed workout, and Sundays will be like a long run. And it's to help like build community, because, running alone isn't safe, and also sometimes isn't fun. And you will be faster if you run with a group and if you have guidance of a coach. So that's where Run BMT comes in. And our next training block launches on February 6th and will end on March 23rd at the Advent Health Summer Sports race at Lake Minneola. It's a half marathon, a 10K, and a 5K. And I will be leading the next training block. I co-led the previous training block that we just had that led into the Mount Dora half marathon. And again, it's from February 6th to March 23rd. And you can email me at john@blackmattertraining.com, or you can look on Instagram for Run BMT, but the Run BMT is separated by a double underscore, and that will go to Coach Seth, who's the owner and head coach of Run BMT. And if you have any questions, you can click his link tree and take you to the website. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
You jumped a lot of. There's a lot of things I was going to let you do later on. So I got a question.
Yeah.
There's no shit talk about running. So I do think that it's really cool to find that. I think with athletics, and I think you and I had this conversation previously. As we get older, that it's difficult to make friends and do all these things, but having those kind of communities and people where you have common interests has become kind of very much a social club.
Yeah.
With a physical, like, hey, we're going to get in shape. This is a healthy social club. It's not what I'm doing here where we're getting drunk, but it's something that it's become very synonymous with. You find people with common interests. You're working towards extra goals. You're pushing each other. It becomes a really cool community. You said that, running as a group is going to make you faster, all this. Do you find that this is something that's kind of taken over for like the last 5 years or so where you've seen a pickup? Because we even talked about sneaker sales have been changing because of the dynamics of some companies got on board with running shoes and others did not.
I would say the past year you would have seen a huge increase in run clubs and it being like a social aspect. And in Orlando, it was very prevalent after we had the Olympic trials marathon here last year hosted by Track Shack. After that, you saw a bunch of run clubs just launch or get bigger. There's literally a run club like every day in Orlando or Orlando area. And some of them, they're very social, right? They'll say, hey, we run 2 miles, we run a 5K, or we run like a 10K. And it runs either at like a brewery or like a pizza shop. A very social place after the fact that you can just get to know people and you feel safe. I personally love it, right? Because the social aspect, right? You can just go meet some people. You could just be kind of like an introvert and you can just go run on your own. And then after the fact,
you could be an almost incel.
An almost incel. and you can meet some new people. I've met tons. I have so many friends now because of running and people that like I would probably die for and kill for because of running. Like seriously, like I met some very like-minded individuals that sometimes I felt like I was maybe the only person that felt that way. And then I go on a 7-mile run with somebody and then we get to know each other. And then we find out we were in the same circles, either in high school or in the same circles after high school. And they just never connected. And now we've connected and now we're good friends. And I have a lot of friends like that. Tons. Different backgrounds, different ethnicities, different worldviews. And I've learned so many things about myself as a person. And I've learned a lot about like the community period because of that.
Well, so I joke, not really joke. I've noticed a trend. So at some point there was that big influx of everyone was doing CrossFit.
Yeah.
And they became the athletic social circle. Those people have now fully integrated. That's it. That's no longer the hype. You're in there or you're not.
Yeah.
Then it's like, oh, everyone's doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And everyone's doing pickleball. And like these athletic things, like almost clubs or programs for like adults, grown-ass people who still want to stay in shape, but also want to remain social. Because there's a certain aspect of when you're in high school and junior high school, all that, your friend groups were doing different things, but you were forced back together. Now, as an adult, I'm either going to have the choice. I'm going to go and do like CrossFit. I'm going to do jiu-jitsu. I'm going to do running. But now run club seems to be the trend. We're not saying that it's ever going to go away because I think running in groups is, one, significantly safer. Two, you're right. You end up running better. Andy listens to the show, and whenever I've run with him, I end up actually caring because he annoys me the whole time. He's like, I don't know why you're going slow. I was like, or like you're going fast, but I don't know. He just does some shit that I'm like, let's just fucking finish this run, you jackass. I love him to death. I will fucking murder someone for him. But I think that it's cool that that's starting to really pick up, and I saw that impact on it from a business perspective on companies. Like, suddenly now you want to jump into the shoe game, but companies that were always about runners have now flourished.
Yeah, so like Nike is a big example of there's been a lot of good articles about like the downfall of Nike, even though Nike is like arguably the biggest brand out there, period, for anything. But now you have brands like On, and that's one of the shoes that I wear a lot that have become big, the past few years. You will see tons of people wear On. The cloud shoes is what people will say, is what it's called. They're very comfortable. I'm super biased. I get a lot of On shoes. I know a lot of people that work at On. They do a lot of events here.
I'm a size 10.5. I'm still waiting.
Shout out to Gabe and Abby.
You're size 7.5?
10.5.
Oh, okay. I was like, how do I have?
I was about to say, there's no way you're 7.
Yeah, there's no way. How do I have a bigger shoe size than you?
Yeah, there's no way.
There's no way.
10.5.
But I think
11 if it's Pumas.
But I think like a lot of those up and coming companies, like, like they latched on to the community aspect of it and do like, shoe demos and like really get involved in the community in events when you see other bigger companies not get involved. And you see that a lot. If you look at Orlando, like running events, you'll see like, a demo by ASICS or a demo by On or a demo by Brooks. And you're like, oh, let me try their running shoes. So you get to try on their shoes, go run however much, that they'll tell you to do, 2 miles, 5K or whatever. Then you come back and go, oh, these are pretty cool. Okay, if you buy it today, you get a discount. Or, like, hey, you might have a contest. Hey, win a free pair of shoes. The amount of free shoes that I've won in the past like 2 or 3 years going to these events. And it's
still a size 10.5. I don't know why you guys just took it up.
We don't have the same shoe size.
I didn't ask you that.
Have you got free shoes for me or not?
Yes, I have.
That's okay, so I don't want to hear it. Yeah, so I don't want. I definitely don't want to hear it. And they were comfy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I immediately thought of you, and I said, "Hey, you should get these shoes. They're a little bit too big for me, but they should work for you."
Hey, if any of these shoe manufacturers are making like really stylish boots, I'm a 8.5, and I don't run, but I do like styling on them.
John, ask me if I got free shoes from you before.
Have I ever given you free shoes?
Yes.
Jesus Christ. Jeez. It's that's a little ridiculous. But yeah, so I started a new career, 2 new careers. I'm a run coach, and I started a new.
I love that you consider the running coach thing as a career. Like genuinely,
Yeah.
that is incredible, and I'm so happy that you do
Thank you.
consider that as a career, as like a thing you want to do.
So sometimes like your passion can be your career, even if it's like a second job, even if it's not your main job. I would love for it to be my main job. That would be great. That'd be the goal. But it gets to be that's a big part of my life. So the money part doesn't matter to me. I just want people to be successful, and I want them to reach their goals and be happy about it. And the most fulfillment that I felt in a long time was this last training block, the amount of athletes that thanked me after they PR'd. So they did their personal record. They did their best time in the half marathon at Mount Dora. The amount of people that said thank you for supporting me was like, I was so, how like when the Grinch, like his heart like grew all those sizes, right? I'm not saying I'm a Grinch, but that's how I felt. I was very fulfilled, and I had to like not cry in front of them. I cried when I got home because I wanted to honor their time
fucking bitch.
that day. Oh, I cry all the time, right?
George, you were crying earlier when I said you couldn't have ice in that drink.
So the part for me that I love about why I call it my career is I'm very passionate about it. It really fulfills me. And right now I currently have 1 athlete like that I do one-on-one coaching with, and later on I'll get more. And I'm learning a lot from Seth and Jermaine, and they're really like taking me, under their wing and like really teaching me about the running community and how to program athletes. And I've learned so much from them. They're like brothers to me. So I don't want to let them down either. And I want to like bring a lot of eyes to the running community in Orlando in a different way. Because Run BMT is very, very inclusive. We have a very diverse group of runners, different speeds, different shapes, different sizes, ethnicities, backgrounds, like you name it. There's going to be somebody for you in the group. And when you see pictures of us posted, we do like little photo shoots like before and after. And you'll see like the group, and you're like, dang, like there's something for everybody. Different speeds, people that walk, run, people that are like super fast, that probably like win their races every week. That qualify for the Boston Marathon. We have a lot of different, and it's just great to like when people call me coach. I sometimes still don't believe it's me, and they're like, "Hey, coach," and I was like, "Oh, you talking to me?"
Oh, who?
I was like, "Oh, so Coach John, like, can you give me some advice on this?" I'm like, "Oh, you're asking me from? Oh, snap, that's me."
We were talking about this earlier, and like I had mentioned to you that it's almost surreal to me to think that like you have almost like a little bit of this imposter syndrome, which is something I run into constantly, like in New York. Like
he has a lot of it. He has a lot of it, but he masks it with like anger.
He masked it with anger.
He was like, "Nah,
no,
fuck them."
you like." So we were talking about how you have like this. You have a almost a lifetime of experience, and like you've been doing this since like you've become an adult almost. Like I know since high school, and beyond, and still, people who are like John, Coach John, like you have all this experience. I want to talk to you about like your knowledge and what you know and how you can help me. And you're like, what? Me? You want to talk to me? It's so insane seeing that from the outside in.
The certified coach who's employed here? Oh my, me?
Yeah.
The certified coach.
Yeah. I think it's just surreal because I never thought that it would actually happen.
Fair.
I do want to say, like, I've given John a lot of shit, but he will also tell you that I check up. His whole journey is like, I'm trying to find a new job. How many times a week did I call you asking you?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
How many times am I like, hey, do you want to sit down and do resumes?
All the time.
Hey, do you want
Your greatest support is right here on the other side of the table.
Yeah, pretty much.
No shit.
All the time. I will say all the time he would call, hey, do you need me? Or he would just like, let me pick his brain. Or we would just like talk through it.
He told me when he's like, I applied for this HR job. I was like, all right, say less. Like, why? He's like, why do you ask why? I was like, just answer the fucking question. I need to know. And it was more like, so I could process what I needed to send him. And like, 5 minutes after our conversation, what I send you?
Yeah, you sent me a lot of good resources to help me prep for those interviews.
Yeah, I want. But I'm saying, like, you deserve the fucking changes you put into it.
Yeah.
You were tirelessly working at it.
Yeah, 13 months trying to find, a new professional career, and there was a lot of people out there that like helped me realize that, like you were saying, Jorge earlier, like off the mics, like know your worth and know your value. And I was very undervalued in my previous career. And I knew that I was, but I got complacent and I was comfortable. And the PTO was really good. And I didn't think
a whole rabbit hole there. That was such a slippery slope to be in.
It was, but the PTO was great.
That's what I'm saying.
And like, talking
300 hours of PTO.
Talking to you and talking to Ramon, even talking to like Asha had planted that seed like probably like 10 years ago. That she's like, you're better than this. You're better than this career that you have. And you really do a good job of like motivating people. Why are you there? You don't get paid enough. And I was like, I don't think I could do anything else.
I want the record to show that 5 years ago, he was talking shit about wanting to leave. I was like, you both said you wanted to be a coach. Why aren't you coaching? He's like, and then he just said some other shit and moved on. And I'm like, motherfucker, you said you wanted to be a coach. Why aren't you coaching?
That's easy.
Yeah, it just wasn't the time. And I was like 2 seconds away from like losing my mind if one more person said the reason, because I interviewed a plethora of jobs.
Yeah.
This isn't the right fit for you. Something's going to come up soon. And I when I tell you, I was like this close. And then my homegirl, Kelly, shout out to Kelly. I met her through Run BMT also. She was like, John, let me help you. Right. A lot of people did help me. Like my boy Omar tried to help me. A bunch of people tried to help me. Amanda tried to help me too. She looked at my resume. A lot of people, she was like, give me your resume. She changed it. She's like, you have too much. Well, just have a page.
You have too much bullshit.
Yeah. She goes, just too much bourbon.
Hey!
Too much bourbon and
Too
bullshit.
much bourbon? Too much bullshit.
It's just me saying shit.
Just one page
Too
of
many
stuff.
quotes from this guy, Arthur?
And then she's like, I'm going to send you like 5 jobs. Just apply. And of those 5 jobs, 2 of them interviewed me. And one of those jobs is the one I have now. So shout out to Kelly. She's a great person. She took the time out of her day because she wanted me to find success and fulfillment outside of running, because she loved the fact that I had that fulfillment in running and wanted me to have that in the other aspects of my life. And I can never repay her for that. Like she was one of I think she was the first person I called. I called her like in tears saying, I got the job. This is because of you. And I can never thank her enough for that. So I will be forever grateful for Kelly for helping me out with that.
There's a really good friend of mine who lives here in Orlando, Jay Jones, who, when I was going through probably the worst of my imposter syndrome, was like, okay, that's fine. He was like, that's fine, whatever. But do you trust me? Do you trust my judgment? I'm like, well, yeah, of course. Of course I do. And he's like, okay, then that's all you really need, because I believe in you. I believe you can do the thing.
Damn.
Like you don't have to believe in yourself right now. Just believe in me and believe in my, what I think. And that was such a huge shift for me, where like, oh, I don't have to necessarily believe in myself, because that's so hard. It's so difficult.
It really is.
I mean,
but believing in your friends and believing in your friends, like, values and like their judgment, that's easy peasy, because of course you do. Thanks. And so yeah, that was a huge shift for me. And like I've gone on stage before, just before getting on stage, where I'm like, I don't know if I can do this, and then I'll think back to Jay Jones believing in me. I'm like, you know what, if he could believe in me, then I guess I could give myself a little bit of leeway. And it's been this huge shift for me. So I'm so glad that like you have this like circle of friends, this network of people who are like, you stupid motherfucker, you know what you're doing.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it feels.
Yeah.
You know,
Did you listen in our phone calls?
basically. And it feels really good to like tell people that also like, have always believed in you. My fiance Silvana's like always believed in me, and for her to like tell me how proud she is of me is like the best thing ever.
It's huge.
And then even for like, like my mom, my brother, and then like close people that I'm with, like, Angie's told me how much she's been proud of me. She tried to get me, like people don't know my story, but like, me and my ex-wife we're like best friends. We've always wanted to have each other be successful. And when I told her, she tried to get me to be a coach years ago, and like even gave me friends, some of her friends I coached like on the side with no certifications. I just kind of like helped them out. Tried years ago to help me get a different career, and I just wasn't ready in that point in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always had a lot of support. I just didn't believe in myself. Didn't think I was good enough for it. So for those people to tell me like, wow, I'm Jon, I'm proud of you. And I've been on this journey for a lot longer than I said 13 months, but it's been probably 10 years.
Yeah.
That I've been on this journey of like,
Yep.
Self-reflection and trying to figure out like what my purpose is in life. And I found it. Right. And that's crazy to like look at. I'm 39 years old. I'll be 40 this year.
When I told you ain't shit, you interpreted that as like support, right?
Definitely. when a close friend tells you, when somebody that
shit.
like is like a brother to you tells you that you ain't shit, it's because like you can do better.
Yeah.
Right. And they're telling you in the most out of pocket way, like you can be a better person.
I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? What do you mean?
Yeah. Just stop basically stop being an idiot.
Yeah.
Right. Like you are better than this. You are self-doubting yourself. And we understand why, because like, the deeper rooted problems in terms of like society and like being a Hispanic male and all that stuff, right? That's a whole different
not
issue.
even that is like,
right?
I think that there's a straight direct, like we've been friends long enough that I could be like, we can get to the chase. What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah. Like you're basically being an idiot. You have the tools and the resources to be successful. You don't believe in yourself, which is why you're not finding what you want, or you're giving yourself these excuses because you have the imposter syndrome. You don't believe in yourself, or you don't believe that you're worthy. And I always felt like maybe I wasn't worthy, or I was too scared to take that leap. Right.
Oh yeah.
Even though everybody around you is like, you can be successful in anything. One of my former bosses told me, Jon, you can be, shout out to Steve. He always told me you could be successful at whatever you decide to do.
Yeah.
Like whatever you decide, you can do it and you can be the best at it. And I was like, geez.
Yeah. And as the two of us sitting here across from you, like, yeah, obviously, duh, you dumb fuck. But like, but you being in that position, like, yeah, it is the hardest thing to hear. Like, you can be successful at whatever you decide you want to do. Like, you just have to decide to do it and like take that step.
And
that is the hardest thing for like the person.
The mics haven't been on for how many days I fucking call him and be like, did you get a new job yet? Like I would open the call like, did they call you?
Hey.
He's like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, cool.
Like,
what do you want to do tomorrow?
We're like, no, I got it. Or what did you apply? I applied to 6 places today.
Yeah, I basically like,
well, that's also part of like the heartbreak too, because like you put in the work when you want to do the thing. I applied to 6 places today. I applied to 6 places yesterday, like 17 the other day, and like still nothing. That's it's easy to get disheartened.
Yeah.
By just like the grind of it all.
It is so fucking frustrating because like we talked about it off mic. Like I keep saying the word like I was offered opportunities, but they were always like bend the knee. Like,
right.
Take your L's, take your lumps. So it's either I sacrificed some big aspect of my life to get further. And I know that someone's probably listening is like, yeah, you have to like take your L's and take your lumps.
Yeah,
do I though?
That's the thing. Exactly.
Like, why is that like
you
the
don't
thing?
have to.
Like, why is that the expectation? Like, if you're saying, hey, man, I really have so much faith in you and I believe in you and I wholeheartedly think that you're capable of everything. I love Steve. You know I do.
Yeah.
So, but him is like, you're going to be successful whatever you decide to. Then fucking promote me. Like,
then do something about it, motherfucker.
Bitch, if you just told me that I'm great at everything I put my mind to, then what the fuck are we doing here? Like, and I would get frustrated. And like, I imagine I know Jon got frustrated for me, which is part of the reason why I yell at him because I get frustrated for him. Because as a big brother, like I feel like I'm hey, I need to make sure this dumbass is doing the right thing because you've thrown too many bottles, and I've had to make sure you didn't die more than one
time.
Yeah, one is enough.
One is more than enough.
Hey, is one a lot? Hey, is one a lot? Are you talking about dollars or murder?
But that was 2009. that was 2009. It is 2025.
Still,
right? 2025.
You can't. You know when they say you could build as many bridges as you want, but you suck one, and you will always
You set one on fire, and then you're the guy who
It was just a little fire.
a little fire.
Right?
But I'm
fuck
proud.
one goat.
I do want you to know that we are proud that you resilient, did the thing,
I appreciate
got out,
that.
fucking focused, and the more important thing, I'm not shitting at the new career. I'm happier that you're found a coaching thing.
Yeah.
Because that's what you're passionate about.
Yeah,
I love it. Like it's
If you and the two other coaches and all that want, obviously completely like free. If you want to advertise anything on the show, you tell me. We'll record something. We'll do it for your next training blocks, whatever the fuck you want. Like support the homies, like they support us.
Appreciate that.
Black Matter training could be a big staple of the show. So you let us know because I will 100% support
all day. Appreciate that.
But I want free shoes.
Fuck.
I'm just being funny.
This fucking guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. I'll give you a shirt too.
Yeah, I got a shirt.
What do you want, an XL?
Okay.
It's got to be big so it can fit over.
I can get you an XL. It's so if anybody takes anything away from like listening to this episode is, like really go after. And this sounds so cliche, right? Like go after your dreams, and it could take
so dumb.
It could take 10 years. It could take 13 months, or it could be a combination of both. You could just give up and then decide one day you see your friends fulfilling their dreams and fantasies. Like Jorge really just got up and moved to New York right before COVID to fulfill some dreams, right? So, and you've lived here your whole life, right? Orlando?
Like born and bred in Orlando. I love it here. That's why I know so much about like what's going on currently, because like I want to keep up, because this is my home. This is where I was like born and raised. This is where I was made. And it's kind of like put me onto like the path that I want to be on. And that's why like it breaks my heart to hear some of the stuff that's like happening locally and everything. And just like, God damn it, man. I want better for Orlando for sure. But like at the same time, like I know that I'm not just Orlando. I'm not just this guy who's here.
There's a point when you moved to New York, and I love her so much. But if I had been single, I'd be like, Jorge, you can get a roommate. Because I'm from New York.
That's
so I would have been, Jorge, you can get a roommate.
I would 1,000% said yes.
Everyone needs a roommate in New York. You need 14 roommates and a guy on a couch that pays like $13 a month.
Can I tell you? So everything is going well now, but like a couple months ago, I was at sort of like, I want to say my financial lowest that I'd ever been. For whatever reason, like a lot of the freelance stuff that I've been doing, just like there was the lull that happens in freelance. You like, it's either feast or famine, and it was a famine for a really long time.
A few pictures weren't doing it.
Yeah, bro. If I could pay rent on feet pictures, trust me, these feet would be all over the place.
I would even hide it.
Nobody wants these hobbit feet.
I would even hide that these are my feet. Go on.
But like, so a couple months ago, I want to say it was maybe November or something like that. It was the first time in my adult life where I could not pay rent in any capacity. Like I didn't have enough savings to cover it. I didn't have enough like whatever to cover rent. And I like thank God every day that like my partner Cristal, like we live together, and we have for like 2 years.
Name?
Huh?
That's a real name.
That's her real name, Cristal.
Like the champagne?
Yeah, Cristal. Yeah.
I love that.
So do I.
I would hope so.
Yeah, it's not Crystal. Fuck you. It's Cristal. Because we fancy, we bougie. But so it was like she has been like just the greatest partner and the greatest teammate almost to like keep me on like the up and up, keep me focused, keep me like my backup in every. There's that I hate the quote to a point where it's like, oh, behind every successful man is like a woman that like keeps him like going or whatever. I hate that for 1,000 different reasons, but like at its core, she has absolutely kept me going in the right way. And so like I couldn't pay rent, and I'm just so like blessed, thankful, lucky that we were together and we live together. And she's like, you don't have to pay rent. Like it's fine. I got you for this. I know you're working hard. I know you're trying. It's fine. Like it's not a big deal. And like, honestly, give that clap. Cristal, get up here. Cristal, come up to the podium, please.
We really dressed it. That clap was way too long.
It's honestly, well, she deserves the full length to be honest.
That's what she.
No, I can only.
can't go deeper.
Stop it. You know I done run out of dick.
No more PP.
No more pee-pee. No more pee-pee.
Flag.
That's the Pokemon shit.
It's the Pokemon thing. Like there's not enough there's not enough pee-pee for this attack.
Which as 13-year-old me was not comfortable
Bro.
with.
And then Flash. Not enough PP.
Not enough.
Jeez.
You had a straight up flashback.
Yeah,
But no, so like she was like, you don't have to worry about it. Like I know you're trying. I know you're working. I know you're doing all these things. Like it is fine. But like for me it was a big deal because that was the first time in my adult life where I'm paying rent that I could not pay rent. And if I was in any other situation, I would have been in like dire straits. Like what the fuck? I owe a whole month's rent. Like what am I going to do? So it was a huge deal for me, but like for her, somebody who's like in support, like how you do with John, how you do with Arthur, is just straight up like, yeah, duh, I've got your back, you fucking idiot. Like it's a no brainer. Of course I do. So yeah, just like having that internal struggle, like it was a huge thing, and it's just like knowing somebody who had my back to let me work, let me cook.
So would you say that like she's also like maybe like your muse or like the catalyst of why you want to be better and be more successful?
She 1,000% makes me want to like be better, and like I constantly think about our future, and like not just in the a couple
that
years.
pisses me off.
fuck you.
No.
Wait, why?
No, I'm not actually mad. It just frustrates me because I remember 2010 me was like carefree. I don't care about
I don't
shit.
give a shit. Yeah.
I'll do whatever.
It's
then
me.
Then I get into a happy relationship where I was like, now I'm thinking about every fucking action I do.
You met the best thing that's ever happened to you.
Yes.
And you wanted to be better.
She was the second best thing that ever happened to me. Peanut was the first.
That's facts.
That's right. My
That's
dog.
facts. That's fair.
I love you, Rosanna. You know better.
No, that's fair.
You know better.
That's fair.
No, but Rosanna was like, when I met her, I was like, I don't know if this is gonna last. Now I'm like, every fucking thing I do is like,
No, you're so full of shit to say what you just said. That first line.
No,
you're full of it.
No, I really promise
fuck
you.
you.
No, I'll tell you the story. You want to know the story? Why I thought I was gonna leave her?
Well, let me pause you real quick. I'm gonna give you the outside perspective. You can tell me whatever story that you fucking want, right? But I remember when you told me that she was moving in, and you guys weren't even dating that long, right? I was like, what? Like she's gonna rent the other room that you have, and you're like, no, she's moving in here. And I literally looked at you, and I go, what the fuck? And I was like, and I knew right then, I was like, this is the girl, right? Because I've known you long enough to know that like every other person that you've dated, they might have like either rented the space or they were just here, right? And then you met Rosanna and you're like, no, she's moving in. Like, then you try to like, oh, her lease is over.
That was like but to be fair, that was 7 months into dating, yes. But it was sooner than I would ever have done.
But like knowing you.
Way sooner.
Like that was way like, I thought, maybe after a couple years.
No. But
you're like, not even a year. And she moved in. I was like, this is the girl that's going to set this fucking guy straight. And you said it.
Not a problem.
And you said it on one of your previous episodes that you were okay with the basics of the house, which is fine. And I respect that. But your house became a home once Rosanna moved in here.
100%.
Right?
I'm not going to lie about that.
And she made you a better person and wanted you to be successful. Same thing with all our partners, right? Like we found a partner, all of us, that have wanted us to be better. Like we want to be better, not even like for ourselves, but for them, because we're like, yo, why the fuck are they with us? Right? And then we're like, oh shit, maybe that's why. And like, oh wow, they see something that maybe we don't see in ourselves. And then we want to find that success.
Like this episode wasn't meant to be to like deep into imposter syndrome, but I do find it interesting that everyone at this table has had the person across from them tell them that they're good.
If you have a comedian on a podcast, they're going to tell you that I had impostor syndrome or I have impostor syndrome.
I mean, like you guys talking about passion projects. And where the fuck are you guys sitting?
Yeah, yeah.
At my passion project.
Sitting in your passion project.
So I was like, motherfucker, do you realize that the reason why the show took long to launch was because I didn't think I could.
You didn't think you do it?
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
trust
you
me.
pull it off.
Of anybody,
I
think of anybody that you know, and I don't care if you tell me otherwise. Of anybody, you have been trying to do a podcast for years. You had your little board with all your fucking ideas,
and they were great ideas.
Great ideas.
It's tough because you're not a white dude with a podcast.
Oh, that part. Geez, that's a soundbite, right? That he probably won't post anywhere. But
flag.
But you had a lot of great ideas of different ideas of podcasts that you have and like different topics that you wanted to talk about. And we would work out in your gym, in your house gym, before, during, and after COVID.
And I would be that's what I'm trying to do.
And we would talk about like the topics, and you're like, well, I think, as like, men, we should talk about this, or like as Latino men, we should talk about this, or just as a society, we should talk about this, and no one's talking about these.
And no one's talking about this.
You're like, I have my board, your little blackboard, and you had all these
music,
things written.
impact about movies. If someone has enjoyed film, it's like, it's not necessarily even like typecasting anything. It was like, hey, these are the topics I think are important to talk about.
And you're
like,
I think,
or resonate with people.
For this, we should talk about this. And I was like, that's great. And what the fuck did I always tell you?
To do it.
Just fucking do it.
Yeah,
just fucking right. Like Shia LaBeouf, do it. No, it's insane because
that's exactly what you told him about his fucking career. Yeah, just fucking do it.
Everyone is sitting at this table, and like there was a really great quote, and for like 2 seconds, I need to both shut the fuck up because I know both are gonna chime in. I'm like 2 seconds, both shut the fuck up. I need to establish this parameter. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. There is this quote. It's if you wouldn't talk to your best friend that way, you shouldn't talk to yourself that way. Mm-hmm. And it's like one of the realest things in the world. Mm-hmm. Because if your best friend's like, hey, I have this business plan, it's like, yo, let's go, let's fucking rock it, let's fucking do it. But you're like, I don't know about my own plan, blah, blah, blah. Like, no. Why is it that you're okay with loving and appreciating someone else more than yourself? And that's a problem. And that's something that introspectively you want to surround yourself with people who either support each other and take care of that. But the fact that why is it okay if your friend makes a mistake? Hey, that shit happens. It's whatever, he had a bad day.
Yep.
I make a mistake. It is fucking the worst thing. I said, shut the fuck up. I know I said that. You were there for that.
I need some grace right now for not shutting the fuck up.
I know I said that. But it's one of those things like, grace right now. Listen, I know you're from New York. We're not in Vermont. What I'm saying is like that if you're not ever going to say that to your friend, have that same love for yourself and appreciation for yourself.
Yeah.
And that's difficult. And as people are going through that journey and that process, having people around you that uplift you. John said some shit earlier that always makes me uncomfortable. And I don't know if he knows it makes me uncomfortable. And it doesn't make me uncomfortable for the reason why you think it's uncomfortable. He says, everyone likes G. And I'm like, I don't think people do. In my head, I don't think people do. I don't think people do. Shut the fuck up. I don't think people do, but I think that's what's important, to have friends that will do that for you. That will remind you, hey, you should have been a fucking coach 5 years ago. Hey, you're fucking funny as shit. You shouldn't have been an incel. I'm so glad that you got past that computer and World of Warcraft. You got out there and did comedy. We're going to go there. But I think that you guys are both fantastic human beings. I think in society in general, you should surround yourself with people who are going to uplift you and do the things that you want. The people who are willing to invest in your product, not, hey, I need to go buy a Louis bag. Hey, I need to invite, hey, I'll sign up for Patreon. I'll pay the $5 a month. Even if it's all of it is a gesture. As opposed to like, yeah, I listen to Joe Rogan religiously or Armchair Experts or some other motherfucker that doesn't need me. This is why we surround ourselves with those people. So that's my moment of Zen, brought to you by Bourbon and Bullshit.
And we'll be right back.
Hey guys, so we're going to call that part one of this episode. Jon and Jorge were so much fun to have on a show, and we ended up talking for like 3 hours. But there is also an uncut and unfiltered edition of the episode for all of you Patreons, so keep an eye out for that. As you already heard, the run block for Run BMT is live right now, so make sure you follow Jon for the next block if you are interested, and support local. So make sure you stop in and check them out. Guys, so we will get back with you next week, but hopefully you guys enjoy this episode and you get to hear a lot more about Jorge's history and his time throughout being MC, comedian, and overall fantastic human being. Stay safe, everyone, and see you next week. Bye, guys. Hey guys, today's episode is brought to you by Burn, Termite, and Pest Control. I first met Joe Byrne on Full Frontal Nerdity Show and decided to give his company a try. They have been the best pest service I've ever had. From flexible scheduling, attention to detail, fair pricing, and everything you love about a small business, I highly recommend Joe Byrne and Burn, Termite, and Pest Control. It's a family-owned and operated business with over 30 years of experience in termite and pest. You can reach Burn, Termite, and Pest Control at 321-297-7985. Once again, 321-297-7985. And let them know Bourbon and Bullshit sent you. Thanks, guys. See you next time.